thank you all for being here today.
I see people are leaving, so keep in mind.
I know, Joel. Yeah, thank you so much for. I really appreciate you being here. I know it's an encouragement to me, and I would think to my friends here on that. And we are. We're fellow Americans. We have so much in common. You may not know, but Congressman and I both play the drums. So there's a lot that we do have in common. We love our country. It's just a question of the best path of how we set our country in the right direction. And I would submit to you today that this truly is a defining moment. It's a defining moment in our American journey because of the great challenges that are before us. We're spending money at such a rate right now that we're having to borrow 42% of what we're spending. Just let that soak in. 42% of what we're spending, we're borrowing. I'm telling you, there's not a family, there's not a business, there's not a country that can stay on that path. The debtor becomes the lender's slave. I've met with so many of our good bankers, and I always treat debt just like a rattlesnake, handle it by the tail. They may be smiling. My bankers, they're good folks. But man, I just, with fear and trepidation. The path before us, the way these finances are taking us, it's very sobering. I think we need men and women in leadership who have met a budget, who have made a payroll, and really understand firsthand job creation. Because, not all ideas are equal, and not all leaders are equal. And as I look at the challenges before us, I truly believe that my life experience, master's degree in business, the first business, I see my lovely wife of 29 years, Terry, the first business we started, it wasn't a car dealership. It was a janitorial business. I was a janitor and she was a janitor. We hired two people. She hired me and I hired her. We needed the money, frankly, and we were the ones who were doing the cleaning, with a cleaning bucket and the vacuum cleaner. And here, I'd say this, I'll leave you with this. If you truly believe, at the end of the day, you look at all of the candidates here, and if you truly believe that we're better off with massive deficit spending, that's really the path to job creation. If you truly believe that it's okay for members of Congress to send out things like this direct mail piece that I got from the congressman, it comes from Republicans too, it's wrong, regardless of which party. If you truly believe that Nancy Pelosi should remain the Speaker of the House, then I'm really not your candidate. I want to be, but I'm not. But if you really believe in the American entrepreneur, if you believe that there's a better path, the smaller government, and a real emphasis on job creation and controlling federal spending and changing Congress, I'm the only candidate who will give you this today, which is a specific list of things I want to do, and I will do, and I'm resolved to do if I have the high privilege of serving you and your family in Congress. I'm grateful for the time that you spent with me today. I encourage you to learn more about us at our website, scottridgel.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Ken Golden.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Joel, and thank you all for coming out. And I'm still cleaning in my house. I don't know how you get away with it. I think Terry's letting you get away with murder, but I still use that brush at home. Matter of fact, I'm having to do it at the headquarters, so I don't know. Something's wrong with my organization. I want to talk to you about something that's historical. We have never had an independent voted in as a 2nd District representative. Normally, an independent running any place is usually way far left or way far right. As you can see, not only am I in the middle, I'm physically in the middle, but I'm in the middle between these two guys. If you like what the Democrats have done, vote for Glenn, my friend. If you like what the Republicans have done and are going to do, vote for Scott. But if you want somebody that will look at the clear lens of a problem that faces the people in the 2nd District and not through the blue or red lens of the two parties, then I'm your guy. Because that's exactly what I am going to do. I'm going to make your priorities my priorities. You are my lobbyists. You are going to be the ones that make the decisions for me, and I'm going to ask you. I'm going to come down here and ask you. And even when I'm sitting at my house in Manassas, we're going to be on a computer talking to each other, and you're going to say, Congressman Golden, you're not right on that issue, and here's why, and I will listen to that. I have had the privilege of serving for 31 years in the United States Navy, and I've had to look at a balance sheet and make it work, okay? I understand the industry that makes a difference here in this country and in this area here in Hampton Roads that will grow jobs here. I understand education because I've seen it all over the planet. And those are things that make a great deal of difference. But the most important thing I want you to remember, who do you want making those tough decisions as we go forward? Do you want somebody that's handled several $1 million worth of budget in the Pentagon? Do you want somebody that understands the legislative process? Do you want somebody that has done that? Do you want somebody that's had to make those tough situations in combat? When I made a mistake, people lost their lives. And I didn't make any mistakes. And I've made those decisions for you as a naval officer, as a businessman. I've made those tough and hard decisions, and I will make those hard decisions for you again. On November the 2nd, there'll be 3 buttons. It'll say Rigel, Nye, and the 3rd button is the I believe button. I believe in smaller government, I believe in the Constitution, and I believe in Kenny Golden. And that's what I want you to do. Never miss a golden opportunity. Folks, come out tonight. Thank you very much.
KenGolden.com.
www.kennygolden.com.
There you go. Congressman Nye.
Thank you. Thank you for spending this time with us today. Like a lot of people from the Hampton Roads area, I've spent a lot of my career overseas in some pretty tough places. I was out there as a civilian. I started in the Balkans. My first assignment was in Kosovo and Macedonia, where I had an opportunity to serve American citizens in need in some pretty tough places. I had the opportunity to organize the evacuation of 26 Americans stuck behind the line of insurgent control in that country. I also had the opportunity to take on and successfully negotiate the release of an American hostage held by insurgents in Macedonia. I appreciate the opportunities this country has given me to go overseas and serve in tough places and support the interests and protect American citizens. But more than that, I really appreciate the opportunities that I have had to be able to spend time in the field with our men and women in uniform in tough places like Iraq and Afghanistan. It's the ultimate nonpartisan environment. I appreciated the approach there being doing what works and getting things done. But you know what else I remember a lot about my time overseas is talking to service people who said they weren't concerned about the dangers facing them out in the field. They were concerned about getting that call from home, from their spouse or family member who said they're having a tough time getting their benefits on time, they're having a tough time with the economy. And I firmly believe that as Americans we need to lead. But in order to be leaders in the world and to protect our national interests, we have to be strong at home economically. That's one of the reasons why I ran for this job just 2 short years ago in the first place. And I set out for myself a couple of simple but I think pretty key principles. One, do the best I could to try to help the economy grow and strengthen that. My record of fighting for small businesses, again, has attracted the endorsement of the Chamber of Commerce, the National Federation of Independent Business. I said I would work to protect our veterans, remembering the folks that I served alongside as a civilian, but that I got to witness their service and sacrifice out in Iraq and Afghanistan, and also to work to protect our military families right here at home. The fact that I spent so much time and effort on those important groups of service people is the reason why I'm also endorsed by the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I said I would fight for Hampton Roads, and that means fighting to protect our jobs, keeping the carrier here, we're winning on that fight, keeping Joint Forces Command open, we're making good progress there, and that I would stand up and take some tough decisions and some tough votes. And when my party split from what I thought was in the best interest of the people I represent in Hampton Roads, I've said no. I voted against the health care bill, I voted no on the cap and trade bill, voted against the Wall Street bailouts. Now, people won't agree with anybody on every single issue, but at the end of the day, you just got to ask yourself, of the folks running for this office, who will put Hampton Roads first? Who's got a proven track record of doing that? Who will stand up and make the tough decisions when it counts? And if you think that I've done that, like I said I would, then I respectfully ask for your vote November 2nd. And thank you, Joel, for doing the tough job of keeping us moderated today. Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much. Just a big hand for